All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's Cryptic Crossword for Wednesday, October 9th, set today by Anto. Let's see what Anto has for us. Be ready to do nothing. I think it's a double definition, and I think you can stand by in two different meanings of the phrase. Stand back and stand by, as someone infamously said. All right, let's try these three downs. Broadcast raised in volume when showing traditional sexual arrangement. What is that? Sexual arrangement could be an anagram of sexual, but with a T, no. Something raised in a down clue. I think we're going to have maybe a word for broadcast, which we often see air, and that raised would be RIA, and that would go in volume. Yeah, so TRIA sounds likely, but I still don't get, excuse me, the traditional sexual arrangement. All right, how about parvenu, biased somewhat against part of Africa? Well, could it be a hidden clue? Maybe hidden in reverse, somewhat against? I do see Nubia in there. And I think that Nubian is certainly, Nubia, an adjective Nubian for African. So I don't know if it's a specific part of Africa. I just don't get the against. But that may be wrong. We'll find out with the crossers. All right, experts unavailable during scraps. Well, the first word for experts, I think, beginning with B, it's a great word, boffins. Yeah, excuse me. I think we used to hear it during World War II films or television shows where we'll have the boffins look at it. So I think unavailable is off, and that goes within bins. So it scraps as a verb. To scrap something might be to bin it. All right, let's try these other downs just for grins. Money annually applied to create satellite. I have no clue other than it might be the moon of one of the planets in the solar system, but I can't think of one. Extent of US currency, getting acknowledgement in reports. No. Our meets potential lover following happy news. No, don't get that either. Oh, news, of course, new can be N, so news could be NN. I wonder if the definition could be meets potential, like attains or something like that. No. All right, back to the acrosses. Get rid of unwanted drug that's been released. I presume it's get rid of. Yeah, don't get that. Groom initially, coy on meeting bride. That's a great clue. So I think it's like one of those everyman clues with primarily. I think we take the initial letters of coy on meeting, and we get comb. To groom might be to comb. Am I combed enough? I think it'll do. All right, alternative for meek lady, lacking a traditional cure. Well, I'm wondering if it could be folk remedy, might be a traditional cure. Yeah, but oh, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's an anagram, an alternative version of For Meek Lady, but that's one too many letters, so we have to lack a. Yeah, so there we go, a folk remedy. All right, special language giving information on freezing. All right, information is usually Jan. Freezing might be ice. Is that a special language? Jan ice? Ice Jan? Oh, sorry, I'm only now looking at the letters I have. You're probably all wondering what the hell is he talking about? So special, maybe? Language, yeah, I don't. Oh, I think information might be the I, like a sign in an airport, big I, that's where you go for information. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. But what's the definition? Special language? I can see it being a language ending in a something I, not Afghani or no. And of course, I'm not 100% sure of Nubia, although the N and the B are right. Yeah, don't get it. All right, exemption allows compiler to admit being weak about it. No, I don't see that. I can see GP bothered by gestures seeking no conflict. So I think bothered is telling us to anagram I can see GP, and with the G and the S there, I'm thinking a peace sign might be a gesture. Yeah, that looks like the right anagram. All right, this now. Okay, so it's not TRIA. Yes, I don't think it's air, but it could be some other word for broadcast. Show? Oh, I think it. Oh no, I was thinking. Well, actually, I'm thinking of a twosome, which I'm not sure I've ever heard anyone talk about that, but volume. I think broadcast might be so. I was thinking show, and then that made me think TWO, and then I realized, well, there's no H, but I think it might be so, and that goes inside a tome. So I was thinking the volume of noise, but it's the a volume you read might be a tome. All right. Ooh, I think Romany might be a language, but I don't see the freezing part. Oh, but how about NO, like no, no something for freezing? No, don't see it. All right. Okay, I looked at those. Let me just try buffoons regularly see them. Well, regularly we usually think means take every other letter, but I don't think that's the case here. I don't think we have enough words to do odd or even letters. Buffoons regularly. Yeah, is this an ing word? No, that doesn't seem likely. All right, how about organized crime dons looking embarrassed? I think that must be an anagram of crime dons. So that's a great anagram indicator, organized. Let's try the anagram helper and shuffle. Oh, I wonder if ED will be at the end for embarrassed. Concerned. Cronies. No, not seeing anything I like so far. Could it be crimsoned? You turn red when you're embarrassed. I don't think I've ever heard the term crimsoned, but I can see it's in there. I'm going to put it in, and that's a new one on me. All right, well, All right, drop extremely tacky church artwork. So extremely tells me to take the outer letters of a word as a drop. DP doesn't seem likely, but TY. Oh, yeah, so maybe it's a word for drop and then TY, and it's going to be a church artwork. Ooh, there's a lot of things that could be. But I'm not thinking of any of them. All right, let's go back to the crosses. Clues given to yard wasted. Yard, I've certainly seen abbreviated as YD. But could it be Y? Also, wasted could mean an anagram, but here I think it might be the definition. Yeah, clues that the police might receive are tips, and then the Y for yard is drunk or wasted. All right. Mad liberal conceals stuff that's not prepared well. I think that's as easy a hidden clue as you're going to find. An ad lib would not be prepared. All right, rough up Nigel, for example. Yeah, so is it going to mean rough up? And then is there maybe a famous Nigel who has this word as a last name? I can only have, we're only making plans for Nigel running through my head. Nigel Short, the chess player. Nigel from the Young Ones. Nigel. No, now I'm saying Nigel so often that it's lost its meaning. All right, moving on. Great story about Earth I told in installments. Oh, I'm wondering if I told might be a homophone at the end. So something that sounds like I. And I'm thinking it might be in installments. Episodically. Oh no, I think it's well, I'm not sure how the I told works, but I'm thinking episodic would be told in installments. A great story is an epic And Earth is sod, and there is another I. So here's the EPI of epic. All right, I like that one. River group gets rejected having eaten meat. I think it might be a river, and it's going to be a group backwards, and inside it we're going to have meat. Well, I'm immediately thinking of ham, and then I think of the Thames. Although English people have corrected me and said I should say Thames, but I don't. As if you've watched my videos before, you know I have problems with T and TH. Um, so yeah, I think a group is a set, and that is put backwards or rejected around the ham. All right, Dylan moved around in riverboat mostly. It is 10 letters, and Dylan moved has 10 letters. In riverboat mostly. Is that the definition? It's a very strange definition. Uh, I'm not sure what this is going to be. Maybe it's an anagram of Dylan inside river. Could be an R and then a boat or a river boat, which could be a barge actually. And in fact, saying barge, I thought of by and large, and that means mostly. All right, happy to get that one. Oh, I think I know my church artwork now. Um, can I spell it? I think it's DIP. Could it be DY? Well, let's look at the wordplay. Yeah, so I think a drop is a dip. Took me a moment to work that out. There's a lot of possibilities. Then extremely tacky. And then the thing that threw me, I thought the definition was church artwork, but of course it's just artwork. And church is our old friend CH, abbreviation for church. All right, how about welcome, success in this place? So I think it's going to be either in, on, or at. And I think maybe it's going to mean, Actually, I'm not sure. It could be an and lit or a clue as definition where there's overlap. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. More wary. All right, about strange linkage between both sides. Yeah, I'm not even sure where the definition. I was thinking it was going to be a more type word, more wary. So IER and strange. I'm thinking eerie, but linkage between both sides. No, I don't get that. Shambles when wife's abandoned puzzles. So I think we get a word for puzzles that has a W in it. And then we remove the W and get shambles, which is another great word. Yeah, something D. I mean, it has to be a vowel before the. I think it's the other way around. I think if you shamble along, maybe you waddle like a duck. And if the W is abandoned, then you get addles, which could be puzzles. Yeah, I was trying to make Addles work for shambles, and then I realized I had the wrong end of the stick, as I usually do. All right, sale room offer is essentially disdainful. Sale room offer, it could be a bid, is, no, I don't get that. All right, little appreciation for one who is late. All right, well, we had, I think, this word, or maybe the long version of it recently. And so I think that's fresh in my mind. So when I read one who is late, I immediately think one who is dead, who has passed on. An appreciation for them might be an obituary, and a little appreciation then would be an obit. All right. Work space, sketched out, eliminating carbon. All right, here's where I always have to try and think, is carbon C or Ca? I think it's just C. I think Ca might be calcium. Um, and so I think we have something for sketched. Oh, actually, I think it might be an anagram of sketched out again, can mean an anagram, but without the C would give us 7 letters. And it's going to mean a workspace. Oh, the desk, I think. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about having the word the as part of the answer, but maybe it is a phrase. Yeah, I suppose you would say, oh, I'm chained to the desk, or yeah, I think metaphorically you might refer to the desk for people who work in offices. That's my best guess. All right, don't have any letters for put on in accordance with procedure. I think it might be a double definition. Put on could be to put on clothes or adopt something, but it could also be a put on to play a trick on somebody. But in accordance with procedure doesn't sound like that would be the right thing. All right, we do have an A and an O now for sale room offer is essentially disdainful. No, don't see it. All right, left half looking all right, but not much on the right. I'd love to get that special, excuse me, language. No, all right. Let me go back to my buffoons then. Regularly see them. It must be a plural, right? But something spacers, buffoons. Yeah, something to do with laughter or no. The other one that's interesting here is well, it says getting acknowledgement in reports. I'm wondering if it isn't. This is an ing word. Extent of, well, what did US, well, US could be A, and then currency could be any other currency in the world. The only thing is the way it's phrased in reports might mean all of this wordplay is found in another word for reports. But I find it hard to see a plural with I in the third last position. I'm thinking something like admitting, remitting, admission. No. And here's meets potential lover, following happy news. Yeah, so I think news is going to be the definition because the other S word would be meets, and that has to follow happy. Meets potential lover. Oh, that could be, of course, dates. Following, what's a two-letter word for happy? And then it's going to mean news. I can't think of any word for news ending in dates. No. All right, where else do I have? This was my more wary. No. All right, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to have to go to word plays and see what else other than Romany, which I know the Romany people you spell with a Y. Oh, what was the language spoken by Polare? No, so I don't think. Oh, it might be Polari. That was spoken by the gay subculture in Britain. I know Morrissey, I think, had Piccadilly Polari, but I think he spelled it a different way, but his spelling was never his best suit. Let me pause and look up Polari first of all. Yes, that's it. And of course, when I paused, I thought about the wordplay. Freezing can be polar. I think in Britain, maybe people would say, oh, the weather is polar today, meaning it's freezing, and the I for information. And yeah, Polari is a form of slang used in Britain by actors, circus, and fairground showmen, and particularly among the gay subculture. But it has a long-standing connection with Punch and Judy puppeteers. So there we go. Special language. All right, doesn't give me anything, of course. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go to word plays for my buffoons. Oh, I am wondering if it could be. I always say this, oh, I'm going to go you look it up, and then the brain, I think once it's relaxed, that you don't are not putting pressure on it, it suddenly thinks of something. But I'm wondering if it could be flying pickets, flying. No, I'm gonna go to word plays. It was flying, and I don't know why I didn't think of flying saucers, but of course. Now, why buffoon? Oh, it is a regular. Taking the even letters from buffoons, you get UFOs. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I just abandoned that idea. I think because usually when we take the even or odd letters, we're getting the solution, and I could tell we didn't have enough words for that. But we get the UFOs as a definition. Yeah, that's a lesson I need to take away from today's solve. All right, any useful letters? Not really. Our exemption allows compiler, which Anto might be saying I, to admit being weak about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Identity fits, I think, but no, don't like that. And then, oh, here is our Nigel, for example, rough up. Yeah, I don't think it's wordplay. Oh, it could be just Nigel as a man's name. Oh, I think it is a man. Another word for name is a handle. And I think it's manhandle. Oh, that's very clever. All right, so now welcome. Oh, I think a welcome might be hi there, but it can also be read as hit here. You have success or a hit here in this place. Clever. All right, sale room offer is essentially disdainful. I mean, the essentially makes me think we're taking the inner letters of something, but I'm not seeing it. Ooh, 21 now, the first letter, more wary. Oh, learier. Ah, so actually, eerie was on the right line. So strange is eerie, and it provides the linkage between left and right, both sides. Okay. Let's try and finish the top right. Get rid of maybe something like pass out, pass off, hand out. Drug is usually E. It can also be H. So maybe H and out, hand out. Oh, news, of course. Just as I think of out would put a U here. Of course, updates. And if you're happy, you are up. Ah, yes. So I'm going to put in hand out. I'm not exactly sure. Might be pass out, but let's go ahead and check this. No, but the D is right. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and reveal it. Weed out. Oh, all right. The drug today is weed, and that's been released. If it's released, it is out on bail or whatever. And to get rid of something could be to weed it out. Very clever. All right, that gives us a couple of starters. Money, annually applied. Oh, I know there is a satellite moon Europa, but how would that be money? Oh, the money might be the euro. Yeah, it is the euro. And annually is per annum. And they create the Europa. All right. Okay, extent of. Ooh, I was thinking of dominion, but I don't think it's that. No, that's the wrong length. US currency. Well, of course, that's the dollar. Um, Getting acknowledgement. Yeah, I'm not seeing that. We do have a nice P here for exemption. Oh, impunity, I think. And so the compiler admits being weak is I'm puny, and that goes about it. Another clever one. Oh, a dimension, I think, might be an extent. Oh, I went completely wrong there with my typing. All right. Getting acknowledged. Acknowledgement is mention, but in reports means it's a homophone, and so instead of a T, we have an S. The extent of US currency then is, or our US currency is DI. Yeah, I get the D, but not the I part, so we'll take a look at 15 squared for that. All right, well, this has seemed harder than maybe it actually has been. Just as far as how many gray cells I've burned out trying to do it. So we just have our sale room offer is essentially disdainful. Well, maybe you have to look at the middle letters of disdainful. Could be the A and the I. Ardain, but I don't think either of those are going to work in. Oh, I'm thinking maybe disdainful might be aloof. Yeah, so it's the inner letters of these three words. So sale gives us AL, room gives us two O's, and offer just gives us a single F. And they spell aloof. My goodness. All right, put on in accordance with. I should have realized it's a charade. So in accordance with might be per, and procedure I think could be form. And then perform might be to put on something, put on airs, or anyway, I'm going to check that one. It is right. All right, let's check all. Okay, let's see what they're saying over at 15 squared. All right, the blog today is by Andrew. He thought it was easier than Sunday's Cryptic. I thought the Cryptic on Sunday, which my video will come out on Sunday, was fine. I thought it was at a good level. And I thought this was a little bit harder. He does say one or two quibbles that I won't bang on about. All right. I think I followed. Now he is quibbling the use of the word unwanted in 5 across. Get rid of unwanted. I think it does read strangely. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. Oh, Julian and Sandy and Round the Horn before my time, but I've heard them played on the radio since then. All right. And yeah, Manhandle, that was, I think, my favorite. Dylan and Barge. Yeah, so he does quibble with the desk. Surely this is not a standard phrase. Yeah, I have sympathy with that opinion, but I think people will come forward in the comments and say that they have heard it used. Oh yeah, Nubia, I didn't fully. Parts of modern day Egypt and Sudan again seems to have no function in the cryptic reading. Yeah, I did question that. All right. Dimension sounds a bit like dimension. Oh, I think that's such a different I sound, dime and dimension. Does anyone say dimension? Maybe some people do dimension, the third dimension. I think I've always said dimension. So that homophone didn't work for me, but I think it is a valid homophone. Yes, I don't know why I didn't look at the UFOs in buffoons. And yeah, let's see what people say. Is it the desk is an odd term? Oh, Kazi comes from Polari. That's interesting. I didn't know that. As a homophone purist, I laughed at dimension. All right. Nubia. Yeah. Anyway, the desk, the securities department at the New York Federal Reserve. Interesting, but I think workplace is a very weak definition for that. And there's a little bit of Julian and Sandy's humor for you. All right, well, yeah, all in all, finishing it in 40 minutes isn't too bad, so I will count my blessings. Anyway, thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.